Esteemed friends, welcome to today's QUOWETRY series. We shall be considering QUOWETRY number 189. The title of today's QUOWETRY is "The more numerous the commandments, the more indicative it is that the people are deviants." This is Isukari Francis Ololo, your friend. The story goes this way. The angels kept laughing as they relaxed on Mount Adaklu that Sunday. They could hear some human beings arguing furiously down the foot of the mountain, over which day was really the Sabbath day, which man should observe. One angel laughed so loudly that a certain human being down the mountain thought he had heard of some strange noise up the mountain. His name was Kozo Besa. Those around him said they did not hear anything, but Kozo strongly believed he had heard laughter up the mountain, so he cocked his ears. The angel who laughed so loudly said, "Human beings are funny. They don't seem to appreciate what Jesus has done for them. They are still following Jewish laws and arguing about Sabbath days, this and all that. Is there any Sabbath day today?" The angels laughed loudly again. "Human beings never want to grow," one commented. "They still think the worship of God is patterned on the thousands of rules of Moses." Kozo Besa heard the laughter again. This time it was clearer in his ears. He asked his colleagues whether they too had heard the laughter emanating from the mountain. They said they hadn't. What was wrong with him? They asked. One angel said, "The laws of Moses were meant for deviant children. The more numerous the commandments, the more indicative it is that the people are deviants. God had felt man was mature now, so there was no need hanging all those laws around their necks anymore. He therefore sent Jesus with only one law: love. Finished. Just that one word and command: love. Yet, man says he would not love. He must go back to the laws of Moses again. So instead of teaching people to concentrate on love alone, as Jesus commanded, almost all churches on earth today are only preaching and practicing Jewish laws, but claim it's Jesus's they are following. The angels laughed until tears ran down their eyes. Kozo Besa decided not to inform anyone else around him anymore. If they said they could not hear this clear laughter on the mountain, he would no more talk and appear like a madman. He would rather go and inform the pastor. His ears were spiritually opened. Perhaps he too would hear this clear laughter and give him, Kozo Besa, some advice. He rose and tracked down the reverend minister. He was not at home. He was in the chapel instead. At the time that Kozo Besa was in the chapel, the angels were wondering aloud, "Who will help us reach the world with the truth?" Following Jesus had nothing to do with following Jewish laws, customs, and traditions. Following Jesus only means following the dictates of law as one's guide in life. Anyone who is teaching anything else is not preaching Jesus. No church teaching its congregants to practice Jewish laws, customs, and traditions is really for Jesus. All must be warned early before the numerous false pastors deceiving them lead them all to hell. The pastor could not believe that laughter was emanating from the mountain. Was Kozobesa going mad? But he did not express it. Instead, he asked that they prayed together. As they were praying, Kozobesa heard loud laughter again. He prompted the pastor, but the pastor said he could hear nothing. This time, however, the laughter was long and very loud. Could nobody in the village hear this loud laughter? The pastor only intensified his prayers for him. When he parted from the pastor, he decided to take a quiet stroll to the next village called Strefe, which was only 2 miles away. It was normally a quiet road and he loved taking his stroll. At this moment, the angels had come to a decision. Someone must save the world with the truth. One of them would turn into a human being and get someone to deliver the message. Because the vessel was on the quiet road alone. It was around 5 in the evening. When he reached the spot where a very big rock was said to have fallen from the mountain many years ago and crushed a whole family, he saw a man seated on it. He did not look like anyone he knew. The man could be in his mid-50s. As soon as the man saw him, he smiled, rose from the stool, and drew nearer him. Kodzo was at first filled with fear. Everyone knew everyone else in the village. Who was this man? Then, this man smiled reassuringly, however, called his name, and said in their typical local dialect that he was happy to meet him because he had a message for him. God would bless him if he could carry these messages to the world. The more numerous the commandments are, the more indicative it is that the people are deviants. Christ therefore came with only one commandment for God's obedient children: love. That is all. Just love, and you will be saved on Judgment Day. Anyone teaching people to follow Jewish laws, customs, and traditions as the means of salvation is only being used by Satan himself to reduce the progress of Jesus toward love successfully. Jewish laws, customs, and traditions are for the Jews. All God wants from man today in terms of worship is love. As the dictionaries teach us, the second definition of worship is intense love. That is all God wants in terms of worship, not the ignorant teaching and practice of Jewish laws, traditions, and customs as obtained in the churches today. Could Besa carry these simple messages to the world? Old Besa heard himself saying that he could. Then the man said, "Thanks," and walked past him in the opposite direction toward his village. When Besa turned to see him, however, he could see no one. He broke into a sweat and took to his heels, screaming that he had seen a strange man who had told him strange things. Quickly, he was held and sent to the psychiatric hospital where he is now, despite his protests that he is sane and had been sent to deliver a message to the world. Every day, he is injected to be sober. He delivered the message, however, to this writer who believes him and now delivers the messages. The lesson here is God wants us to practice the unfailing love and dogmas and creeds of men. So the more numerous the commandments, the more indicative it is that the people are deviants. I hope we have taken the lessons. May God bless all. Thank you very much.